Hey everyone, it's Nicholas Davenport back on MB1 University. Now, I want to talk about a topic that I've exemplified through my business Mind Body One for over a decade, and that's putting dynamic and practical methods into mental performance coaching. A lot of times we do mental coaching sitting in the office or going one on one, talking about a dialogue of feelings, thoughts about the performance. And one of my takeaways from this is I've seen a lot from the horse's mouth of athletes telling me this or different performers and myself just analyzing and seeing it in real time. It's always after the fact, right? Now you can observe at the game, you can observe at practice, but typically you talk about an issue, whatever they're dealing with, confidence, motivation, performance anxiety, and they go apply whatever techniques or interventions you apply, come back and go over it again, and then maybe you tweak or adjust things. But I want to go over things in real time. That's my way of doing it. I want to be able to not only to see what you're doing, high performing with things that are tailored for you to struggle or mess up or exemplify the deficits in your mental performance and sometimes physical performance. I want to be able to replicate that as much as possible in a controlled way, but also randomize it so we can get to the point of how do you act when it doesn't go the way you want it. Now, this comes in with a lot of different ways. So I have different cognitive training drills that aren't the typical just pressing buttons on the screen. Some of it can involve that, but I'm big on tailoring it to the specific demographic, whether it be law enforcement, military, boxing, baseball, basketball. The list really goes on, but the goal is how do we make it more realistic? Because a lot of times mental performance interventions resemble arts and crafts projects or some childlike kiddie games. And it's not a shot if you implement these things. I get that's been the industry standard, but guess what? We do things differently here. So we like to put it into real time. So I'm going to go over an actual clip from one of my sessions with my boxer, Elia Carranza, aka the Soul Snatcher. And we're going to see this specific task and then how we're able to do a live on the spot applied mindset type of coaching.
Using applied cognitive training to facilitate mental coaching.
So this is a boxing task that I use a lot.
Green, red, yellow.
As you can see, it combines the combinations she would have to do, but also some cognitive inhibition because she has to ignore.
Yellow, red, green, blue, yellow, green.
And then when she messes up, she has to realize in real time.
There we go.
Red.
And as you see, it has the boxing aspect too. So you're working on actual technique that you would do in an actual fight. People shadow box all the time. So we're putting that relevant to what they need to do.
So I'm gonna record this. So
Excuse the
what
language.
was things though? You can even say it. What happened as you started getting more flustered? Not flustered, but like.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's really it. I'm normally able to recover. I wasn't able to really recover. I kind of like lost grip, and then the grip just left.
I don't know if you heard me in the background, like, remember your calls.
Yeah.
So yeah, and think about you in the corner, or not you in the corner, your corner. I know when you're in there, the corner can say whatever they can say. The location of Blackbeard's treasure. You probably like, hey, I'm in a dog fight right now, right? So that's why, from the audio standpoint, it's like I gotta be mindful of that too. So
Yeah, no, and I heard you say, and I tried to like get it back together, and I was like, it's too late. It's too late.
But that's
It's
fine
too
though.
late.
But the fact that you were aware of it speaks volumes, because there's people I've done this for years. They don't even realize, wait, I was supposed to call them? They're like, I forgot. I'm like, I see that.
No, I definitely knew when I was screwing up. It was regaining control that I was just like, oh man. I think like if I would have had a couple more seconds, I might have been able to gain it. But then when I saw the timer, I was like, damn, all right, but all good.
And that's what I want to see.
So there you see an actual drill that has cognitive components, giving that extra cognitive load, making her have to think under pressure, react, but also has physical components having to do with the technical motor skills she would do in a fight. But you saw how I brought awareness. People talk about mindfulness, performing anxiety, stress management, but this is how we see it in real time. And the beauty is I'm seeing her mannerisms. You heard her cursing, you heard her messing up, and I had to kind of give her more cues, remind the drill itself. So this is very relevant to her specific sport, but in general, you're getting these different mental skills we always talk about. But how do we actually do it in real time? And this is what it can look like. Now, the other part from the mental skills coaching aspect, she was very aware of what she was doing wrong. Now, you have some athletes, I've had ones that didn't realize they did anything wrong. They're like, hey, that was a great run. I'm like, the results would say otherwise, or if it's a measurable drill, the score will say otherwise, or stat, whatever it may be. Coming back to self-awareness, and a lot of times the athletes who perform not the best is because they're not even aware of what they're doing in the first place. How do you bring that to the light? And this does it pretty well. So that's why this is great. And she was able to point out where she had flaws and she helped herself. I was there to guide her as we were trained to do, but she came to the conclusions of what she needs to do and how she can do it better. Now, this was a session we did, I want to say back in 2023, but about a year later, she was fighting for a big fight. And I did another session, and I want to go over this because this shows you how you can get even more in depth, because now we have new tools and apps that are we able to replicate other scenarios such as like crowd noise, because as a boxer, you can get caught up in not being able to hear your corner. So this specific task is a sledging task with Stroop and boxing. So meaning she's going to have to see the colors, not the word, react and do the cube dependent on that, and have the sledging task with internal unproductive self-talk. So things that are like, I can't do it, I'm not good enough. But I gave her one more extra task to make more cognitive load, but make it real-time mental skills. She had to refute the negative thoughts while doing this. Oh yeah, and she had our mind's eye glasses, which obstructed her vision. So let's see how that looks.
I'm too different from everyone else.
Different is good.
Nice.
I feel too much.
Feeling is good.
I'm scared.
I'm brave.
I'm too empathetic.
I'm always making mistakes.
You learn from mistakes.
I'll never be happy.
I'm already happy.
I'm not as strong as others in handling challenges.
Super strong.
So as you see there, a lot was going on. So just from, let's start with the cognitive overload and the performance side of things. She had her vision obstructed. One of the eyes were blinked and the other one was flashing. So she only had really one working eye to take in that visual information. So that's where visual perception comes in. And then the cognitive load, she had to use working memory to be able to what color equals what combination, but also she had to override impulse and inhibition by not reading the Stroop word. So a lot is going on, but then on top of that, she's taking in external stimuli. Now I can put crowd noise with that. I could put cars honking. I could put sirens, but I tried to do it just with the words so I can really get her to hear it, because I want her to be in her head, because what's happening, especially in a combat sport like boxing, it's one-on-one. When that bell dings, it's just you and the opponent, and there's a lot of thoughts going through your mind. Now, she told me in this specific session, I can tell you that some of the thoughts were things she just thought. And that's the beauty of it. It wasn't meant to be that, but it can work as such. And people really internalize these things. So what better way than to have to refute them, not just in your head, but out loud, making the intangible tangible, as I always say. So this is a way we're taking it with Mind Body One. A lot of people ask, what do we do? This is part of it. We still do the other type of mental skills, but a lot of what we do is dynamic, what we call dynamic mental health. And we're able to put into action that make it similar to what the demographics need to do. Because how do you truly get someone better if you're not putting in them not only the physical and similar specific performance states, but also the mental states? We can only recreate the scenario as much as possible, but we're trying to get you as close as we can to get your mind right. So think about this. We'll be working on more courses coming out to educate, because a lot of practitioners ask me about this because it's not really out there like that. And we're doing it in-house, and we have our workers learning and growing, but we're taking it to a different level. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you later.